get to work on my quilt today. I've been in a rough mood. But we're going to read 1 Samuel chapter 25. And Samuel died, and all of Israel gathered together and lamented him, and buried him in the house of Ramah. And David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. And there was a man in Macon whose possessions were in Carmel, and the man was very great. And he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was sharing his sheep in Carmel. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish and evil in his doing, and he was in the house of Caleb. And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men, and David said unto the young men, Get you up to Carmel, and go to Nabal, and greet him in my name. And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity, Peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house, and peace be unto all that thou hast. And now I have heard that thou hast sheared now thy shepherd which were with us. We hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them, all the while they were in Carmel. And ask why the young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore, let the young men find favor in thine eye, for we come in a good place. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thy hand, unto thy servant, and unto thy son David. And when David's young men came, they spoke to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David, and ceased. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, Who is David, and who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants now a day that break away every man from his master. Oh, you hear that? Let's read that one again. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, Who is David, and who is the son of Jesse? Now here we go. Where be any servant now a day that breaks away every man from his master? So that was saying, hey, look, I don't know nothing about you. I don't have anything to do with you being king. And that's the way people are to be with the government. And stick together. Everybody will stick together and not do anything for the government. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed from my shearers, and give it unto a man whom I know not whence they be? So David's young men turned away and went again, and came and told all these sayings. And David said unto his men, Gird you on every man his sword. And they girded on his man his sword, and David also, turn page, girded on his sword, and there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abide by the staff. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, Behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were convert with them when we were in the field. And they were a wall. I'm gonna get bad. I'm gonna take a minute. Alright, I get a tickle in the back of my throat, and I want to cough it out, and I'm trying not to, and that's what the problem is. Okay, they were a wall unto us, both by night and day, all the while we were with them, keeping the sheep. Now, therefore, know and consider what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household. For he is a son of Beel, that a man cannot speak to him. In other words, he thinks it's too good to speak or help anybody. Okay, now this is what happened. Is they stayed around the perimeter to keep all his sheep and everything in there while he sheared them. In other words, take off their coat. 18. And Abigail made haste, and took 200 loaves, and 2 bottles of wine, and 5 sheep ready dressed, and 5 measures of parched corn, and 100 clusters of raisin, and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on the asses. And she said unto her servant, Go on before me, behold, I'll come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. And it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the covert of the hill, and behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. Now David had said, Surely a vain have I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him, and he hath required me evil for good. In other words, here David and his men took the time to keep the animals in there, and now Nabal don't want to help them out. I'm sorry. Okay, number 22. And so more also do God unto the enemy of David, if I leave of all that portion to him by the morning light, any that pisses against the wall. Okay, there's your dirty word. He peed against the wall. Alright, 24. And fell at his feet, and said unto me, My Lord, upon me let this iniquity be, and let thy handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience, and hear the words of thy handmaid. Let not, my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man, Beel, even Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Okay, so Nabal's name means hateful. Okay, Nabal is his name, and followed is with him. But I, thy handmaid, saw not the young men of my Lord, whom thou didst send. Now therefore, my Lord, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing the Lord hath withheld thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself with thine own hand now, let thy enemy and thy that seek evil to my Lord be as Nabal. Don't be like Nabal. Don't be mean and all. And now, this blessing which thine handmaid hath brought unto my Lord, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my Lord. I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thine handmaid, for the Lord will certainly make my Lord a sure house, because my Lord fighteth the battles of the Lord, and evil hath not been found in thee all these days. In other words, he's saying, don't go kill him. Evil's not found in you. Don't do it. You know? Yet a man is risen, pursue thee, and to seek thy soul. But the soul of my Lord shall be bound in a bundle of life with the Lord thy God, and the souls of thine enemies shall he slug out as out of the middle of a sling. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord shall have done to my Lord according to all the good that he hath spoken concerning thee, and shall have appointed thee ruler over Israel. See, she knows it's going to be king one day. That this shall be no grief unto thee, nor offense of heart unto my Lord. Neither that thou hast shed blood careless, or that my Lord hath avenged himself. But when the Lord shall have dealt with my Lord, then remember thine handmaid. Alright, when God takes vengeance on him, would you please remember me? And David said to Abigail, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. In other words, he's saying, thank you. I appreciate you not wanting me to go and kill him and put more blood upon me. And blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou, which hath kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and from avenging myself with my own hand. For in every deed, as the Lord God of Israel liveth, which hath kept me from my hurting thee, except thou hast hastily and came to meet me. Surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisses against the wall. In other words, he was ready to go to war. So David revealed of her hand that which she had brought him, and said unto her, Go up in peace to thine house. See, I have hearkened unto thy voice, and have accepted thy person. And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house like the feast of the king. And Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunkard. Wherefore she told him nothing, less or more, until the morning light. So she didn't tell him what she'd done. And when it came morning, then she told him. Okay, 37. But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, and his wife told him these things, that his heart died within him, and he became as a stone. In other words, he's saying, oh man, I can't believe I done this, blah, blah, blah. Why? Alright, 38. And it came to pass about 10 days after, that the Lord smote Nabal, and he died. And when David heard Nabal was dead, he said, Blessed be the Lord, that hath pleased the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and hath kept his servant from evil. For the Lord hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take him to wife. In other words, he went there and took her to wife. After all this. So she must have been a pretty woman, or else he really did care. Something. But now remember, David was married to Michael, or Michelle, whoever that was. Anyway. Alrighty, 40. And when the servant of David came to Abigail, to Carmel, they spoke unto her, saying, David sent us unto thee, to take thee to him to wife. And she arose, and bowed herself on her face to the earth, and said, Behold, let thine handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servant of my Lord. And Abigail hasted and arose, and abode. Okay, now let's go back to this wife thing right here. You know, they may be calling him wife, but if you think about it, all these women are always not having sex with these people. I think a wife is different. Because here she said, let me wash his feet. So, being a wife is not always having sex. Okay. Alright, I'm on 42. And Abigail hasted and arose, and rode upon an ass, with 5 damsels of her that went after her. And she went after the messenger of David, and became his wife. David also took Ahinoam of Jezreel, and they were also both of them his wife. Okay? But still doesn't mean they had sex. I don't see sex here. I see wife. Wife doesn't... Well, we'll look it up in the Strongs. But Saul had given Michal, yeah, I was right, his daughter, David's wife, to Phathai, the son of Lush, which was of Gilman. All right, so he was already married to her, but his dad took her away and gave him to somebody else, so she's married twice. All right, let's see if we can't find out this word wife. So now I have my concordance out here. Let's see what I can find. Wife. This is the back. Will, wife, right here. Wife. Wicked, widow, wife. And we want to go down here to, and we want to look at 1 Samuel. Alright. We want to look at, go on up, 802. The 8. Go back. Ah. Okay. Go back. 802. Alright, from 376 or 582. In particular, Sheen, a woman, used in a wide sense as 582, adulterers, each, every female, many, done, one, altogether wife, woman, after unexperienced in English. Alright, let's go up to 376. Oh man. 376. And it says, rather from unusual root, mean to be a man as individual or a male person. Often, use an adjustment more defined term. In such case, frequently not experienced in transultant. Also another, any man, certain, charmed, man, high degree, him, husband. Okay, well anyway. Alright, let's see what this other one is. 582. Okay, 582. A male, and thus differing from the more defined, hence a man in general, another certain, cheap, derive, follow the flower of their age, husband, certain, man, person, same, stranger, those their trade. It is often expressed in English. Alright, here we go. You cannot express really what wife is coming down to. So I would see these people that they're calling wife like we would look at a maidservant. Now whether they had sex or not, we don't know. But we are learning more on this subject. Little hugs and kisses to you.